It's time now for the award-winning #1 local talk show in Northeast Pennsylvania, The Sam Lesante Show. Now here's your host, Sam Lesante.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the Sam Lesante Show. You know, you always hear famous names like Sam Walton, Ralph Lauren, Steve Jobs, Henry Ford, and it just Sylvester Stallone. And you look at these people and say, boy, they're so successful, they're worth millions or billions. You ever wonder, how did they start? All of the names I just mentioned to you had nothing. They started with absolutely nothing. We have an interesting show for you today. No stranger to the northeastern Pennsylvania area, DeAngelo brothers, and then also the DeAngelo construction company, and so many other things that they've developed. But most importantly, it's a pleasure to be up here in the main offices with Lisa and Paul Deangelo Sr. And we'll talk about, you know, the many companies that you have. But these things didn't happen overnight, okay? Going back to what we were talking about, let's go back to, you know, your starting and you know, what you started with. Because you got an interesting story how you and Lisa met and then what you did. So people know, you know, how these things evolve.
Yeah, so thank you, Sam, for being here today, and look forward to chatting with you. Certainly, starting out many years ago, we kind of came out of, you know, we were in high school and we were very young at the time, and we had the opportunity to be guided towards starting business, and really didn't know much about what that was about, but headed down that path. So my father lent us $2,000, and I think our first customer was here in Hazleton. We went and did some maintenance work for a woman over on Laurel Street in Hazleton. I think we charged her $12 for the work we did back then. But in any case, we really began the process of figuring out what it really means. How do you really build great companies and really do something really special in life? And that beginning phase started from day one. Part of it obviously was putting together our family. I met Lisa. We were in high school at the time. I met her in a classic muscle car, actually, which, you know, kind of ties back to some of what we do today with muscle cars. But picked her up, and we got to know each other really well, and fell in love, obviously, and married each other. But early on, when we were dating, we were in the beginning phases of starting a business that I was starting with my brother. And on the weekends, I used to go wash the trucks, and she used to come with me. Mm-hmm. So it was just, you know, really amazing times. But really what it comes down to was early on is, you know, we really figured out quickly that I had to have a person like Lisa to be there to support what I was doing and help build a family. Along with that was the fact that we needed to build money. We didn't have money, Sam, so there was no money. Mm-hmm. And when you don't have money, you can't build companies and you can't do great things to help people. Mm-hmm. So early on it was, all right, how do we make money? So it was go to work. So the first 4 or 5 years I worked for nothing. I was working, you know, bleeding through blisters on my fingers and my hands, and taking all the money and reinvesting it. Mm-hmm. And then you say, well, what do you invest money into? And people would think automatically, well, the thing you got to do, Paul, is you got to go invest money in buildings and trucks and equipment and do those types of things. Well, of course, that's true. But at the end of the day, Sam, the most important thing you invest in is people. Mm-hmm. And that's really what I learned early on in the game, was how to invest in people and get that right, and really believe in the folks that could help you build a great organization.
Looking at, you know, when you started, and we know how very important it is to have a spouse, whether it's the wife has a business and the husband supports, or the husband has a business, the wife supports. It's critical, because when you're developing any kind of business, and this, when I talk to young people today who are coming out of college or not even going to college, who are going into trades, there's a lot of opportunities that are still out there, Paul. But going back in you know, when you started with your brother, you worked for 4 or 5 years, you said, without a salary. Yep. So the money was coming in, you were building a business. Why did you decide that you wanted to continue on that way?
Well, I think I seen what we were able to do to help other people. And that's probably what excited me the most and really been our life passion, is about helping other people to become successful. So once we started being able to bring team members on and employees, and we seen how excited they got about building their careers and being part of our family. You know, when you create that family culture and you bring people into that and you invest in those people and believe in them, it's amazing what they go do for you and how they do what they do. And just seeing that made me want to invest more into people and really help them to really learn and be able to do more what they really wanted to excel at in life. And it really comes down to that. I mean, a lot of people make the mistake in that they go make money and they go spend it.
Yeah.
And that doesn't work. So you go make money, the idea is to invest it. So if I had a piece of advice, that would be my advice to folks, is when you go out and build that first bit of cash you get your hands on, invest it, not only into equipment, buildings, and things of that nature, but invest it in people through helping those folks get what they want to help build their lives and their careers.
Well, you know, it's interesting because, as you know, we could probably talk 4 hours as to all the things that you went through and the businesses that you have. When you're working and developing a business and you're working with people, there's a lot of stress that you have, okay? Particularly when it comes to you're developing a family, because you have your 2 boys now involved. But let's go back when you were born, and let's go back when you were raising these kids, and then you had a business, and then we come, Lisa, as a mother, you have to take care of your children. You have to make sure that you're providing, you know, meals for your family. Plus, you have a husband who is in starting a business, so you don't see him sometimes. You know, he comes home, he has enough on his mind, okay? So how did that work with you, Lisa?
I'm the one, he would work. I'm the one that would run the kids to their games, to their practice. And
did that work on you? I mean, saying, you know, here we have the little...
well, I mean, yeah, I mean, it gets frustrating once in a
yeah.
while,
Yeah.
but yeah.
And not only that, I can imagine how you felt, Paul, okay? The fact that if you couldn't be with your children in the family. So the many hundreds of hours that you sacrificed away from your family, okay? That's when you become successul. That's what brings people to give back to the community. That's what gives people, they say, I didn't have that, so now you have thousands of people working for you. You're making their lives better so they can enjoy it. Am I correct in saying that, Paul?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, I always involve Lisa into the meetings with the other families that we had with our businesses. In fact, she goes to those events today. We always have social events with our employees, like and team members. We treat them like family, and we create a family culture where it's you know, people love to be. And Lisa goes and meets the spouses and talks to them about their kids, and we've watched kids now grow up and come to work within our family businesses and their kids, and now we know, you know, the whole family story, and so the graduation party.
Yes, and so as Paul Harvey used to say, the rest of the story. Okay, you know, there's always the rest of the story. You know, and I can remember the many hours that I was gone. Okay, and not as much as you were. I mean, what I did, you could multiply that with you hundreds of times, because you were traveling all over the place. But what made you, Paul, want to expand that way? I mean, you know, you were all over the country, even, you know, Italy and the whole bit. What made you want to do that?
Well, the first company we were building, we had a passion. Me and my brother, we started out when we were young. We didn't have our sons then, so I had a passion and a love for business from day one. As soon as I got started, it was like I always had this dream that I could do it better, make a better business, do a better job at taking care of the customers, the employees, and really making innovative changes through investing in technology or ideas of how we could do things better to meet the needs of our customers and building those relationships. So started that from day one, very early on, and then just multiplied that to be able to say, all right, now how do I get other people to be able to do the same types of things that I do within the organizations, and have them be able to see how fun it is to do that. And just us getting involved with the families, and, you know, just, it's almost like an extension of your family. So you start to see that not only can we work to build our own family, but we can make it a bigger family and have all of these folks become part of that.
So let me ask the both of you this. At any point in time when you were going through the development and the businesses and the meetings, etc., because not everything goes great. I mean, you go and, people think, oh, just wonder, there's times you walk in and you have all kind of problems and how many times did you think when you came home and you looked at Lisa and said, Lisa, I'm done with this bull. I'm done. This is it. I'm giving it up. I can't handle this anymore. It's just too much pressure. How many times did you think that way?
A lot. And, it was really, I didn't realize it while I was going through it, because at times it was very distressing. But I actually, now looking back on it, know that actually was what energized and motivated me. So I used those challenges that I was faced with as not obstacles, but I used them as the fuel to fuel my excitement, to say, I could win at this, I could beat that. Those challenges will be overcome and we will excel and drive towards our future goals of being able to help more people tomorrow than we help today.
And there's the power of the spouse. The power of the spouse saying, look, Paul, let's settle back. And Lisa, being a strong point, saying, let's settle back here and let's look at this, and to bring you back in focus. And my wife has done that to me thousands of times throughout the many years, okay? So I can imagine, there was a lot of stress. Folks, I'm talking to Lisa and Paul DeAngelo Sr. We're up here at this beautiful building, DCS now. We're gonna come back, talk a little bit about the business aspect, but when you're developing a successful business and you're employing so many people, you know the value of family. And that's one of the key things that Paul DeAngelo and Lisa are concerned about, is their family, number one, and how do you have other people enjoy their families and grow. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to the Sam Lesante Show, folks. Remember, 24/7, ssptv.com. Anywhere in the world you can watch us. Also our YouTube channel. Appreciate very much from our Susquehanna Polling and Research, making this show, the Sam Lesante Show, the #1 show in northeastern Pennsylvania. I really appreciate it. I've done over 6,000 shows, my friend, and every show I do, I learn something. I'm learning something today from, I'm up here at the DeAngelo building, DCS, with Paul and Lisa Deangelo, talking about how they started and what they went through and the businesses they have. But not only that, the thousands of people they have employed, how did this all evolve? So if you just tuned in, we played the show a number of times. It's interesting. As you developed and you're growing your businesses, the trust factor comes in, okay? And you have a core. You need your family base, and you make sure that your family is there. Then you could conquer anything, okay? How in your business, in developing, Paul, and you, Lisa, because wives have a keen sense. They know who the bull throwers are. They know who the fakes are. My wives always say, watch that person. Come on now, watch that. So
That's me.
That's it. And thank God we have that, okay? So how did you, Paul, determine, as the number of businesses you have, which we'll mention, the trust factor? How do you look for that person? And do you come home and say, Lisa, I'm going to do this. I'm thinking of putting Sam Lesante involved. How do you do that?
Well, I think that you got to invest time. You got to spend time with those folks. And that's the only way to really get to know people. And you really want to really find out about who they really are. And, go side by side with them and do something together with them, whether it's both at work setting and off work time, and really get to know the person. And once you really get to know who they are and what they're about, then you really need to invest in them. So you got to help them find out where their goals and what's driving them towards what they want to accomplish in life, and care about that and show a passion for that. If you have a passion for taking care of what they're trying to accomplish in their life, they're going to have a passion for taking care of what you want to accomplish in your life.
What did you look for, Lisa, when he would come home and say, we're going to, derm docs, we're thinking of, putting different health facilities out, or we're thinking of, all the businesses you have. What do you tell your husband?
What do I tell him?
Yeah.
Doing a very good job at it.
You meet the people, okay?
Yeah.
And so you have I say women have that, they know.
We have that instinct.
Yes,
of
there's no question
right.
about it, okay?
I could get a feeling for that person.
Yeah.
And I could see if they're good, or got to get rid of them.
Yeah, but here's the point. How many times did you feel, okay, maybe you didn't, when you knew he's so excited about this particular person and this business, and you have to say, Paul, I don't think that's a good idea, okay? And then you can see Paul's, Italian blood going, So how many times is, because you're speaking from your heart, that's your spouse, that's your family, Has that happened?
Well, Sam, we have these conversations now.
Oh, yeah.
I think we were having them this morning at breakfast. So it doesn't end.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
She was telling me where I made a mistake with one of these that you're talking about.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah.
So that's the other thing. She'll remind me.
Yeah. Well, the point is, and that's good.
Right.
That's very healthy, As much as it used to, I would get mad at my wife when she would say, you're this person, don't worry. Debbie, but, damn it, she was right. So how do you cope with that, Paul?
Well, I think that the one thing is for sure is, you can't fake who you are. Be real to the folks. So if you're going to build a true relationship, we're talking about building relationships with people, trusting them and having them trust you. And it really comes down to, you got to be real and genuine. You can't fake anything. If you're trying to fake building a relationship with folks, stop doing it, because they'll sense it. Just like you sense if they're faking it, they'll sense if you're faking it. So be real, be honest, be who you are. It's interesting because I'll see my sons now as they're young adults doing a great job in life, and me and her couldn't be more proud of them than we are. But it's amazing to see how they have to deal with these same situations today in their lives, and for us, they really, one of the things I think about my sons is they're so real, they're so down to earth.
Speaking of that, as you start, name some of the businesses that you have right now, some of the companies that you have.
Yeah, we have DeAngelo Contracting Services, which we got 30 locations throughout the country, employ approximately 1,000 people. We've got great team members that are awesome employees that have been with us. Some of these folks were with me back when I had the original company I was working on building with my brother. Quite a few of those folks are with us today. Some of them are with us 30 plus years. So you talk about building trust and getting to know people. That's really awesome. So we're thrilled to have those folks with us. That's a business where we maintain and operate infrastructure for highways, railroads, and other types of facilities. We also in there have our, we do aquatic work down in the state of Florida out of that business. We also do our pest control, DeAngelo Pest Control. We have lawn specialties, our lawn care in there. But that's that business. Then we also have investments in the dermatology centers, derm docs. So we're the primary owner of Derm Docs, which has the dermatology centers. We've got 8 total dermatology centers throughout northeastern Pennsylvania. We have the skincare solutions, the med spa, and we also have the surgery center where we do surgery for skin cancer, the Mohs type of skin cancer surgery with Dr. Cabell that does a fantastic job, and we're thrilled to have her be part of with our family. We also have 14 mission autism clinics that we've got an investment in, and my son Paul heads that up. And with that, we have over 300 autistic kids in our program every day.
Fabulous.
Yeah, the stories of how much of a difference we're making through the ABA therapy it's just overwhelming. When you read this stuff, you can't help but bring tears to your eyes.
Yeah, no question about it. Yeah.
And then we also have rental business, Partner Rentals, which has rental facilities. Then we own a variety of other smaller investments, from Sugarloaf Golf Course to Tony's Muscle Cars and Partner Equipment Sales and other things that we've got our hands into.
So when you're looking at all these businesses and being able to manage, have good people, you have given back millions into the community, okay? And that's the key, where when you started what you needed and what you thought would help, as you grew up. So talk about your foundations and what you and Lisa and your family have been doing in helping the community.
Yeah, so I guess it's like probably right around the time we started 7 Isles Capital, which is our single-family office where we actually make all these investments that we have in these different businesses from. Right around the time when we started that back in 2016-17, we started talking about starting our own family foundation. And really, the reason why we wanted to start a foundation was because, look, over the years, when I was in business with my brother, we had donated millions of dollars to help lots of groups around the area. And I thought that was good, but then I thought, well, geez, we could do more, and we should do more. It's not right that that's all we do is put up our own money. We've been blessed to be able to have the great people from northeastern Pennsylvania and throughout the country that have supported our businesses, to be able to have the opportunity and have the resources to invest. But better yet, we can do more than that, Sam. And that's what really got us excited. And not only can we do more by helping to raise dollars through all the business affiliates we have from around the country where we're bringing dollars in, but we can also involve our family in philanthropy and show the next generations that are coming up, like our kids and grandkids, about how important it is to help and invest in others.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm thinking that, as you're doing what you're doing and giving back, you start from scratch, from nothing, you build up a company, you take care of thousands of families, and then you also bring it back to the communities. Folks, I'm talking to Paul Deangelo Sr. and his wife Lisa, talking about, sometimes God blesses us with a lot of things. Is what are you doing with the talents that He gave you? You can see throughout the years what the DeAngelos have done, and not only here, I could imagine countless other places. We'll come back, we'll wrap it up. Welcome back to the Sam Lesante Show, folks. I'm here at DCS, DeAngelo Contracting Services, with the main people, Lisa and Paul Deangelo Sr., owners and family operated. So why did you decide with your foundation in going out and helping these thousands of kids?
Well, really, it came down to the thinking process was, we kind of looked back and said, what made the most influence in our lives? So you think about it, you go, well, you should be donating back to help educate kids. Well, we looked at our own education. We said, we had to go to school. Now, albeit me and Lisa didn't go to college. I'm not encouraging people to not do that, because I highly advise folks to do that. But we looked at what other things did we do. And it was really the involvement that our family got us into youth sports and all the things involved with youth sports. So we looked at the benefits of what that meant to us in our lives, and then came back and said, okay, let's look at those youth groups. What do we remember about that? We remember being there as the parents, having to deal with the kids, having to get them to practices, having to run here, having to do all the things they do. And then wait, the league needs help financially. Well, we don't have time to run fundraisers and help the league with money when we're running around trying to take care of the kids and get them in the right programs that's going to make a difference in their lives, that's going to have a positive influence on all of our futures. We decided to say, hey, let us, our family, take that up. And today, Sam, we're helping over 30 different organizations in northeastern Pennsylvania with that we reach out to them or they reach out to us, and folks can reach out to us at our website, Paul and Lisa Deangelo FamilyFoundation.org, and you can actually ask us to make a donation to your organization if you do. Otherwise, you can make a donation to our foundation that we then will forward on. As a matter of fact, At all the fundraisers we do, we match all of the dollars with our family dollars. So we're bringing our own dollars in and other folks that will raise the money, and then we're giving it back to the places where we feel to make the biggest influence on the future of the kids.
So what's the future look like?
The future, look, we started our foundation and really started doing some significant fundraisers 4 years ago. The big fundraising we've done very well in that time frame. Our foundation and our family has donated over $500,000 to these various groups. Going forward, we have a lot more money coming into the foundation through our own family, as well as outside resources through the network of folks that we've been able to network in business in our life. And we're going to be able to make some huge, significant impacts on the things that are going to happen going forward. So we got some big announcements coming up in this next year, Sam. I'm really excited about it.
And I'm excited as well. Lisa, I want to appreciate you having my son and I coming up and talking, to you and Paul, and knowing when you go through businesses, things just don't happen in life. You got to work hard at them. And Paul, it's so nice to talk with you. We haven't. We've known each other for so many years, but we never had an opportunity of really having one-on-one conversations, okay? I hope this is one of many, So thanks again. Folks, you start off, it's hard work. There's an opportunity for everybody. But the fact is, remember this, when God gives you so much talent and gives you so many great things in life, share it with some people. That's what the DeAngelo family has done. They are sharing millions of dollars with a lot of people. So it's a good lesson. It's something to be learned. We'll see you next time.